Hey everybody, welcome back to Super Sweet Sunday. This week I'm going to be playing a couple of Switch games that I've been playing just in my spare time recently. This one is called Picross and this is S2. So this is the second Switch Picross game. And if you've never played Picross, it's kind of like a Sudoku type of elimination game where you have to figure out what squares on a board are colored in and which are not colored in, and at the end, once you've completed it, you can make a picture. So basically, there are anything from 5 by 5 puzzles up through 20 by 20 puzzles in this game. So there are very low level puzzles and very high level puzzles. And then there's also Mega Picross, which is a little bit harder, as that just said, than playing normal Picross. And Mega Picross, they tell you what numbers are in 2 of the columns or rows instead of 1, so it's definitely harder. And then finally, Clip Picross. I know all about Clip Picross, thank you. Basically, you go in here, and every time you open a certain amount of puzzles and finish a certain amount of puzzles, it unlocks sometimes it will unlock one of these. And when you finish all of these puzzles, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'll make a giant picture. And so there's a lot to work toward, hundreds of puzzles in this game. So I'm just going to do two of these. I'm going to show you let's do a 5 by 5, just to show you what it's like. Okay, so I leave the blue hints on, even though it's kind of cheating. But the numbers on the sides, that 3 tells me that 3 of these blocks in a row are colored in somewhere. This one says that there's 1 block that has some empty spaces between it, followed by a 1 block with some empty spaces, followed by 1 block that has some empty spaces going left to right. This one tells me that there's 1 block followed by an empty space, followed by 2 blocks. Now, a 1 by 2 like this could be 1 block, and I'm putting X's in to say they're not marked in, but if you did know something was marked in, you would color it in with a blue block like that. So to say something, let's say that 1 by 2 could be a 1 here and 2 here, or it could be 1 here and 2 here, or it could be 1 here and 2 here. The reason why this is blue is because there's no doubt, no matter what combination you choose, that this block will be colored in. So if you color that block in, right, you know that this is one of the second of the 1 and 1 blocks on this one. So that means that this right block is empty and the left block is empty next to it. So that turned this 2 to blue because you can't fit 2 blocks down here. There's only room for 1. So then you put that in. By that same accord, in this, if you go 1, 2 for the top and the middle, or 1, 2 for the middle and the bottom, this has to be filled in, meaning this is a blank space, meaning that this is the only one left for the 1 at the top. We don't know which one of these works, but we do know for this 3 that the middle block has to be filled in either way. Just like we know this one, the middle block has to be filled in either way. And this block next to it has to be filled in because you can either have 1, 2, 3 blocks this way or 1, 2, 3 blocks this way. Now, if you have something, the best to do is to get the edges filled in first, because if you know this is the bottom block and it says 2, the block above it has to be filled in, and now we completed a line. Now this 2, we can fill this one in with a blank because you can't fit 2 in there. We can fill that one in and block that off. We've now filled 2 more in. The 1 by 1 by 1s are easy on the 3 by 5 because it's every other one. There's no other way to do it. And then on top, once this turns light blue or gray versus dark blue, like if you look, this 3 on over here on the top is much darker than this 2 over here. That means there are no more blocks to be filled in. So we can block that one out, add this one in, and you've cleared the puzzle. This is a great game to play if you just want to play something for 10 minutes or less, and you just need something, a puzzle game to keep your mind, going. Or I play it to wind down at night. Sometimes like at 10:30 before bed, I'll play 1 or 2 of these. So let's do a harder one just to show you what a harder one looks like. And so this one, there's lots of blue space to start. This is a 10 by 10, so if this says 10, we know all 10 of these are going to be filled in. And since this says 5, we know at least these 4 have to be filled in, and these 4 have to be empty. Same up here. We just don't know if it's the left or the right. As far as this 4, we know the top and the bottom have to be blocks, and there has to be at least 2 of these in the middle that are filled in. Meaning that since this is a 1, 2, 5, this one has to be empty, and this one has to be empty. And by the 5 rule, we know these have to be filled in at least. So if you think about this 1, 2, 5, there has to be a space, meaning those 2 have to be filled in, that one has to be empty, and that has to be filled in. Now if this is a 1, 1, we can block those off and so on. And eventually you get to a point where those have to be filled in, that one can't be filled in, neither can that one. Down here it's a 1, 1, 1, so you have to block stuff off, meaning that one has to be filled in. And you just keep working at it like this until you eventually have stuff filled in. This one says 3, has to be 3. Now this is one that I didn't understand till later, but since this one can't be filled in because it's 1, and so you can't fill this one in, there's no possible way, because it would make 4, and it says it's a 1, 3, 2, meaning that one has to be filled in. But then down here, you see how it turned black? Neither of these can be filled in. This can be blank to block that off for a 1, 1, and this can be blank to block that off for 2. For this 2 over here, it has to be the first 2, because you have to have a space here for 1. And now this one can't reach down here, so it has to be blocked off. As long as you keep building towards something, it's just like Sudoku. You might start on one part of the puzzle and end up somewhere else for a minute. And then all of a sudden you kind of know something about another part of the puzzle, and you can block something else off. One thing that does happen if you make a mistake, I'll purposefully make a mistake here, because I know that's got to be filled in. Or no, let's see. I'll find a place to purposefully make a mistake here in a minute. Let's just see if this works. It will actually correct your errors. You can turn this off. Most of the time when I make an error, it's because I am moving too fast for the game, and so I make an error on accident. So I'm just going to continue filling these in. As you can see, I'm almost done with this. You know, some of these take a couple of, just a few seconds to finish, and some of these take a lot more. It just depends on, your play style and how hard you're working at it and what you need to look at. You could turn the blue off as well. That's really for advanced players to turn that blue off, of which I am not an advanced player. So let's see what this is. It is a totem pole. That does not look like a totem pole. So that's the first of the 2 puzzle games that I've been playing a lot lately. And I'm going to show you the second one I've been playing, which this is, I'm sure is, I don't know if it's available other places or not, but the second one I'm going to play is available on Steam, and you can buy it on Steam as well if you don't have a Switch. The second of the games I've been playing is something called Mini Metro. And basically this is a very minimalistic puzzle game, and I really sunk 3 or 4 hours into this the first weekend I bought it. And all it is, and they're showing you the tutorial now, is they want you to connect this circle to this square to make a subway line. And then you have a subway train that will take the people that want to go from the circle station to the square station back and forth like this. And then you can go to the end of the line either direction and connect it around like that. And so you pick up the people from the triangle station, they take them to the triangle station. Someone in the triangle wants to go to the circle, so they pick up the circle and go back toward the circle station. And so on until basically you lose the game. I can't go into the actual menu to show you the menu right now until I lose, I guess. You can also drag, like this is in the middle of the line, you can actually drag the lines around and change them. Like that. I don't know if that went there or not, so I'm going to check. Yeah, there we go. And you can also make loops like that if you want to. Tally at the top right hand corner keeps your score. It's really actually a score game or a how long can you last game. You want me to connect to this station. Now one thing that's not good about a lot of this is having multiple of the same type of station in a row is really bad. So you don't want to have a whole bunch. In this one it's not bad, but you don't want to have like a circle followed by a circle followed by a circle, because your train will get really full, and once your train gets full then you can't pick up. So if you have 3 circles, you're not delivering passengers, you're only picking up passengers, and eventually you won't be able to pick up any more passengers. So you can add every week on Sunday you get a bonus. And so I get an extra car and 2 tunnels. So now I can build like this if I want to. I can also take a locomotive and put it up here and run it backward. And so there will always be people being serviced, if that makes sense. You don't want to do loops with 2 cars in the same direction. It's just really not... Oh, so I guess they just wanted... I didn't know that you could do that. That's pretty crazy. You don't want them to go in the same direction because they'll just be tackling themselves, basically. So I imagine the game wants me to lose. That's why they said to do that, but I'm not exactly sure. But I do want to show you all of the kind of the menus and stuff in there in the game, and then I want to play through one of these. So you see how this circle one right here has more than 6 people in it? That means it's overcrowded. And once there's too much time of being overcrowded, then it's game over and you just lose. And there are achievements in the game to unlock endless mode, or extra difficult mode as well. Extra difficult mode, you can't change your subway line, your metro line after you've placed it. So you can't change stations. Everything's written in stone. The tunnel's made. You can't remake the tunnel. You can't pick up cars and put them places. You just, once you make a decision, it's done. Whereas in normal mode, you can change your decision and stuff. So that made me go game over. So on the menu at the beginning of the game, you can pick from London, Paris, and New York City. Those are your 3 things you can pick from. And then you also have modes. You have normal, endless, and extreme. Extreme, you can only play by unlocking achievements. So in London, you can score at least 1,000 normal mode, and you can't use more than a tunnel. Paris, score 1,300 using no more than 3 lines. You can't buy extra lines in the game. And in New York, score 1,600 normal mode, etc., etc. But at the beginning of the game, not even all the regular stuff is unlocked. Let me show you one more thing. There's also a daily mode that you can do, and that's just like what city, Paris, on normal, what high score can you get. So there aren't a whole lot of options. There's a day and night mode. I love the day-night mode. There's also a colorblind mode, which changes all the colors for colorblind people, which is cool. So I don't know what the gravity, gesture, and gesture intensity is, but anyway. So this is also available on Steam. Both of the games I've been talking about today are both under $10 games. They're both available on Switch. This game is available on Steam, but the other one isn't. So let's just see how New York City unfolds for me here. And I'm playing on normal mode, so I can do whatever I want. I don't want to do that. I want to go this way. You don't want these lines right here to be acute angles. You want them to be right angles or bigger, because acute angles, your track has to stop, and or your car has to stop. Also, like I said, it's let's see if I can do this. Nope. No matter what I do, it's going to be some angular stuff, and you really don't want to do what I'm doing right there with 2 circles in a row. But at this point in the game, it's not that bad. Another triangle station, so I'm just going to go ahead and make a loop. If you do too many loops, it's bad. You do need a nice mixture of loops and non-loops to make your cars unfold the way you want it to. If that makes sense. The very beginning is very slow-paced, and then eventually it gets so fast-paced you can't manage everything, and without cheating and stopping and pausing, you won't be able to do it. So I'm going to make another line that goes in like this. I'm actually just going to go like that, because I don't want to put another circle in a row. And because I'm in normal mode, I can always change this back over. But right now, this is what I'm going to do. Haven't crossed any of the rivers yet. You build bridges to cross the rivers. You only get so many bridges or tunnels in Europe to do this. So there's my first tunnel, and I only have 2 tunnels left. You can get more tunnels as a bonus, but I try to get as few tunnels as I can because usually I have a good enough building system that I don't need the tunnels. What I really need is more cars or bigger cars or an extra line to help me out. So that's kind of why I don't build a lot of tunnels. There's another triangle, so that's fine. So it's getting ready to be Sunday here. I'm getting ready to get a bonus. I get a locomotive and then either a carriage or 2 bridges. I'm going to pick a carriage. And what the carriages do is they allow you to carry 12 customers instead of 6. And so I can put that down if I'd like to. So I've expanded everything a little bit. And as you've noticed also, the sound in this game is very minimalist. There's not a lot of sound in this game. It's just some little bleeps and bloops, and maybe a little bit of drums in the background sometimes, a little bit of cymbal, stuff like that. So now this is a special station because it's not a triangle, circle, or square. And so what I'm going to do is make it like this, so that it's a short line, but it can always connect to those 2 main stations, either the square station there or a circle station there, to pick up characters for, I'm going to call it a quarter of a circle. And I'm probably going to have to fix this green line because it's getting pretty long. It's really never great to go more than 8 stations per line if you can help it. I really can't help it right now because I only have 3 lines. So my red line and my green line are definitely going to get more backed up before anything else does. In fact, right now on this green line, I'm going to add a carriage to it so it can pick up more customers because it could only hold 5 more and it had 8 in line. So I'm going to add a line so now I can make the blue line if I need to. I don't need to yet, but it's going to be coming soon. Okay. So we got to connect this square up here. So that's what I'm going to do with the red line. Also, when you open a new line, of course, you lose a locomotive. So if you're trying to open a new line, you don't have any locomotives because you use them all. You can delete it from an existing line, unless you're in like hardcore mode, then you can't do that. All right. So this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take the green line back to here, and then I'm going to open the blue line. Not like that. Let's see. Let's try it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. That's weird, but I guess that's the way I'm going to do it. Because I only have 1 bridge, and I'm going to have to expand that green out there. So after a while, it starts to get like nerve-wracking. Like, what am I going to do? This is okay. It's a lot of circles out here. It's a circle paradise, which is not good. And it doesn't have any squares on there. So all of the squares on the blue line are going to get dropped at this circular station. And the green line double carriage is going to have to pick up every one of those squares. I guess I'm going to have to make the, what is this, pink, purple, fuchsia line a little bit longer to accommodate that circular station. That's probably better, so I have only 3 circles in between those triangles. But I had to add another locomotive because I had 3 or 4 triangles at every circle station over here. There's another square. That's really good. Squares are few and far between. So all the lines have a square on it except for the blue line. But the blue line is so far away over here. If there becomes another station that's down here on the bottom next to that square line, I'll make it go to blue, but blue is really long right now. So this is basically the gameplay until eventually you lose, because you will eventually lose. See that green station right there? It's starting to get full. And there it goes, getting 6 squares immediately put on it. All right. So the blue line, oh, I don't have any more. I was going to put that over there, but I don't have any tunnels. So now the red line, that's going to need another locomotive. And we're also going to carry that. I should put that the other direction. I'm a mess right now. We should turn this around and have it go the other direction. And then we're also going to put a carriage on one of those red cars. Let's do this one. And then extend the blue line out a little bit farther. The next time, if they give me an option for another line, I'm going to pick another line to help ease this pain on this blue line right now. Because, oh man, that sucks. Because you definitely, that star is a big problem. This blue line's going to be a really big problem soon. I guess I will take this. If I had another green, or if I had another, no, there we go. If I had another tunnel, I would have the green come across. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right, so I backed up the green. I'm gonna have the green cross the bridge instead. And then I'm going to make this a loop. And hopefully it will make it there before the game ends. Why did you turn around? No. That's real bad. All right, I gotta put another locomotive on there before the game ends. So as you can see, it's getting like more hectic, more stations are popping up. I've got problems in both directions. You can also get something, whoops, called an interchange that makes these bigger. But this station's going to be the death of me for sure. Let's put that on the green car. And that green car is going to hopefully get there in time to pick up everything. Because literally everything that's there needs to be picked up by the green line. At least, let's see, I do want another line. I need tunnels, but I need another line as well. All right, so I'm gonna, no more green line here. Stop it there. And the new line is gonna go circle, circle, square, triangle right there. Oh, it's getting so hectic. I actually have passed this at 1600, so it's not like I'm bad at the game. I'm just not doing as well as I normally do. So finally I relieved some of that traffic over there on those two circle stations. This one and this one were really bad, but now it's a lot better. Oh God, that's really far out there. All right, Pink, get up there to that triangle station. I need another locomotive on that orange line. Oh man, it's tough because the squares are all so far away. I don't have any other tunnels to use because you only get 3. So I'm probably going to lose any minute now. But this game is completely different than the other game, than Picross. Picross is like, take as much time as you want. It's about using deductive reasoning, and this is like organizational tactics. And that's going to be it right there. 783 is not a good score for New York City. I did a very bad job. But that's pretty much the whole game. So they're both available on the Switch eShop right now, $8.99 I think for both of them, or maybe one's $8.99, one's $9.99. This game has been available on Switch for about a year or two as well, and I don't know if it's on any other systems, but you can get them on Switch and on PC as well on Steam. So thanks for tuning into this Super Sweet Sunday video. If you're a puzzle fanatic, these are two good ones. I've been putting a lot of time into, 15 minutes, half hour, maybe 45 minutes max every other night, every third night. They're a lot of fun. So if you're into puzzles, pick them up. I hope you had a good time watching. Hey, there's a couple video links coming up. One for probably a Fire Emblem, a recent Fire Emblem video, and also one for my new series, Eternal Darkness, is starting October 5th. If you want to get into one of those other series, please click on those videos, links to go there now. Also, my face should have popped up in the bottom right-hand corner. Click on that to subscribe. That would really help me out as well. And finally, if you really like this video and you want to see stuff like it and know right when they come out, all the new videos, and the first time I go live stream, as soon as it happens, you'll know. Back out to the regular video screen, click the bells, and join the Royal Syrup Gamer Army of 160 or whatever I'm at. It doesn't matter. I just enjoy making videos for you. So thanks again for tuning in and watching another Super Sweet Sunday with me, the Royal Syrup Gamer. Bye.